On November 22, 2013, Jeanette Grimm attempted to call her 41-year-old daughter Holly Grimm several times, but received no response. Jeanette then went to Holly's trailer, where she discovered it to be in a mess for the first time ever. What was even stranger was that Holly's asthma inhaler, which she never left the house without, was still there, but she wasn't. What could have happened to cause such a mess, and where could have Holly have gone? The story starts in Lower Macungie, a part of Lehigh Valley Metropolitan region and a suburb of Allentown, which is the second oldest municipality in Lehigh County. Because of its lovely surroundings, Lower Macungie has become one of the most sought-after areas in Lehigh Valley for families who have chosen to live there. It has it all: open spaces on acres and amazing schools. In 1972, Richard and Jeanette Grimm welcomed Holly into the world. She enjoyed bowling and used to go bowling frequently on the weekends with her friends. She worked at Allen, Oregon and Macungie, Pennsylvania, and was a huge Dale Earnhardt fan. Allie and her mother had a tight relationship since they often spoke on the phone before Holly left for work, and because they both lived in the Red Maple Trailer Park. Holly didn't know many of her neighbors, but Tammy was the one that she was particularly close to. On the morning of November 22, 2013, Holly and Tammy used to drop their kids off at the school bus stop together on a regular basis. When Holly didn't return her calls, Jeanette became very agitated. She had a key to Holly's trailer, so she drove over 3 times and noticed that Holly's car was still in the driveway. She flung open the door and was shocked to find that there was total silence inside. She then noticed a coffee mug on the floor and an ashtray lying beside the couch, which sent a chill down her spine. She was even more shocked to see that Holly's asthma inhaler was still on the nightstand, because that meant Holly had never left. When Holly didn't show up for work or call to let anyone know she would be taking a break, Jeanette was alarmed and had no choice but to call the Macungie Police Department. Jeanette heard it and was silent. But then something suddenly entered her mind. She called Holly's office in the hope she might get some answers. When the police arrived, Jeanette swiftly briefed them on everything and gave them the rundown. Keys to Holly's trailer when the officers entered the trailer. Allie's keys were on the floor by the front door, and her glasses were on the coffee table. As they looked around the trailer, they noticed a coffee stain that was still damp. They also found a lone black button that didn't match anything in Holly's wardrobe. When they checked as they continued to look around, they noticed that the trailer's back door was open and that there was no sign of forced entry, but there was a brilliant C. Due to their close friendship, Holly's close friend Tammy was the first to contact police. After dropping off their children at the bus stop and having a brief conversation, Holly and Tammy went their separate ways to their trailers, according to Tammy. However, a short while later, Holly got out of her car and started walking towards her trailer as if she had heard something. She then stopped and turned her head as if she had heard something behind her. Tammy told the police that Holly and she always wait for the bus together. The phone was still active and showed Holly was traveling northeast, according to the business, which also claimed that Jeanette had phoned Holly 3 times. However, after that, they were unable to locate the phone, suggesting that it may have been turned off or destroyed. When the police went to Allen, Oregon, where Holly worked, everyone was shocked by what had happened to Holly. But when they questioned some of Holly's co-workers, they told them about something rather strange. They said that their colleague Michael Horvath was running very late that morning, even though they said that Michael was always on time. The police then decided to look for Michael, but when they took an in-depth look, they discovered that Michael was not missing. According to the residents of Ross Township, Macungie, he resided there in 2013 and shared a home with his wife, Kathy. Michael had cheated on his wife with a lady named Nicole, whom he had met online in July 2013, and was also a very enigmatic and unusual figure in the office. Despite their frequent online conversations, she claimed that she never felt romantic feelings for Michael. They had only met once in person, but she had already felt uneasy around him. She declined his invitation the next time because she planned to go to the mall with her husband. The next day, Michael made an odd remark in response, telling her he would follow them around. Despite all of this, she was still in contact with him on the morning Holly vanished. Michael also possessed a farm that was bordered by woodlands, and he would often go into the forest to shoot deer. He even had a soundproof trailer in the woods with the winch to skin and chop up animals. Before Dexter debuted on television, Michael was not a fan of serial killer episodes. Nevertheless, after watching Dexter, he had a strong desire to commit murder. The series finale of Dexter aired in September 2013. The police only questioned Michael about his tardiness to work that day. He claimed that on the way to work his car got a flat tire, so he pulled over to an off-ramping. Holly Grimm vanished from her trailer on December 12, 2013, 2 months after the series' final episode aired, and Michael was questioned by police for the first time. When the police saw Michael walk into the interrogation room, they decided he wasn't a big threat. They saw him as balding and overweight. They were unable to hold him due to lack of evidence. In the end, they did nothing and let him go in March 2014. After working for more than 20 years, Michael decided to leave his job at Allen, Oregon. The police were still searching for the missing hologram, and when they heard about Michael, they began looking for Holly's trailer, which was located 2.5 miles from the off-ramp. Michael drove home to change the tire, and then he drove back to his workplace, which is why he arrived late to work that day. He admitted during this interview that he had sent certain goods to Holly's home in 2012. He sold her a washer and a dryer. The police were able to draw blood from Michael because he claimed to have been injured while retrieving the washer and the dryer. However, thanks to excellent lab work, they were able to determine that the blood on the door was recent and not old. When the DNA results came back, they confirmed that the blood on the back door in Holly's trailer belonged to him. This was sufficient for the police to obtain a warrant. Small bone fragments and a few rib bones were found in a shallow embankment, and they also found a piece of scapula that appeared to have been shot. They suspected the man had dug up the bones and burned them on his property. The digger who made the discovery told the police that he thought some of the dirt and pebbles covering the remains had been brought in from somewhere else. It took several days to thoroughly examine his home, but when they did, they found a diary in which Holly, her child, her lover, and every action of their daily lives were written. The forensics team had established that Holly's bones were among those examined. The recorders even documented when Holly's kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom lights went on and off. Loud noises coming from Holly's trailer were also recorded. What followed was even more unsettling. He had created a map of all the eerie locations near Holly's trailer and even had images of Holly from the time he had gone to her house to give her the goods. The diary also tracked the whereabouts of other women, including a high school student he had been pursuing. Police found the lock-picking tools he had used to get inside the trailer. They also discovered multiple pairs of handcuffs, a bottle of chloroform, and stun guns. And it wasn't over yet. The photos of Holly's bedroom were taken when he entered the trailer while Holly wasn't at home. The police also found a gun which they suspected to be the murder weapon among his belongings. Police discovered a horrific movie called Hunting Humans and pictures of women being put unconscious with chloroform. Holly's mother, Jeanette, who had reared Holly's child, passed away in March 2017. The discovery of her daughter may have given her some comfort, but she did not survive to see that day. Justice was served when Michael J. Horvath's trial concluded in June 2022 with a guilty verdict. The prosecution sought the death penalty, but it took another 3 months for the final judgment to be delivered. On September 8th of that year, Michael J. Horvath was sentenced to life in prison in Monroe County. Michael expressed his condolences for their loss, but added that he would continue to fight the case until the very end. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications before leaving. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and we'll see you in the next one.